Assalamu alaikum. This is Rahima Minas from batch 18B, and the topic on which I'm asked to present a presentation is how probability is used in artificial intelligence. Now, according to the topic, as you see, there are two terms that are used in this topic, that is probability and the other one is artificial intelligence. These two are two entirely different terms. So before moving on to the topic, we will first understand what these two topic actually means. So what is probability? In short words, probability is the occurrence or the chance that an event might occur or might not occur, might take place or might not take place. We are not sure about it. So the uncertainty in an event is known as probability. Now we know there are only two conditions in which a situation can take place, that is 0 and 1. That, in other words, we can say that it might happen or it might not happen. So when we talk about probability, and so in probability, when the probability is 1, that means that there is a possibility or there is an impossibility that, or there is an occurrence that an event might occur. But when it is the probability is 0 of any event, then that event indicates that it is impossible that that event might occur. Now moving on to the other topic, which my whole presentation topic defines, that is artificial intelligence. Now, before moving on to artificial intelligence, we must keep in mind that artificial intelligence is a very broad branch of computer science. Now, as mentioned in the term itself, artificial intelligence is that artificial means that something which we create artificially, that is, it is a machine which has all the abilities, or we can say some of the abilities, which or machines or robots which can solve the problems that are usually we humans do with our natural intelligence that is gifted by our God, Almighty Allah. Or in other words, we can say that it is a field of study of intelligent agents. Now, when we are talking about artificial intelligence and its relationship with probability, so uncertainty can appear in many forms, and we have to keep in mind that probability is all about dealing with uncertainty. Now we can use probability for analyzing the frequencies of the occurrence of an event. Now before moving on to the main topic, that is what is the actual use of probability in artificial intelligence, first we need to uh, know what joint probability is. It would be very helpful in understanding the remaining topic. So when we talk about two events or more than two events or multiple events and its relationship on the relationship of those probabilities, then it is called a joint probability. So we know that, for example, there are two events, that is A and B. We denote this term joint probability with the intersection, and it's equals to simply the probability of A, the product of the probability of A and the product of with probability of event B. Now, the term which relates probability and artificial intelligence is Bayes' theorem or Bayes' rule. Now, before understanding what Bayes' rule or Bayes' theorem is, we should keep in mind that Bayes' theorem is actually related to probability, which in turn that concept is used in artificial intelligence. So the standard, the standard definition of Bayes' rule is that any event, the probability of an event, which is based on the prior knowledge or prerequisite knowledge of the conditions of the event that we have with related to that event we want. So as you can see, there is a statement given here that probability of A over B is equals to probability of B over A into probability of event A whole upon probability of event B. You won't understand it now, but the next example which I'm going to give will be much helpful in understanding what actually from what this equation is derived. And this equation is used in all the concepts of artificial intelligence almost. So now starting, we can see that there are two bags A and B. Bag A consists of 2 red balls and 3 blue balls, and B consists of 3 red balls and 4 blue balls. Now the total balls in bag A are 5. Now first, we will discuss about different scenarios in which we can, discuss about these two bags, in which we can discuss about the different possibilities uh, or of probabilities of these concerning these two bags. So first, we will find the probability of red ball from bag A. From bag A, if I'm emphasizing of bag A, that means that bag A is already chosen. That means I am giving you that source from which you have to draw that balls, the red balls. So we will simply write the probability of red balls over bag A. That means the thing which we need to find is placed in the numerator, and the thing which is given is placed in the denominator, which is equals to 2. That means that these are the number of balls that are present in bag A upon the total number of balls present in bag A. This is what the probability of red ball is. Now let's find out what is the probability of blue ball from bag A. Then as we know that we need to place the thing which we need to find, the thing which we are required on numerator, and the thing which we want, or the thing which is already given in denominator, that is bag A, which is, as we have 3 balls, so we will place 3 in the numerator, and we know the total number of balls, that is 5, and we will place it in the denominator. This is how the probability of blue ball, either blue ball or red ball, is acquired from whole of a bag A. Now there is another scenario that what is the probability that a red ball is chosen from bag A? Are you understanding? That we have given both the bags, and I'm asking you that what would be the probability that when you will dig your hands in bag A, then what is the probability that red ball will came out? So here we need to know the difference between our first statement and the second statement. In the first statement, as I already told, that bag A was already chosen. So here the probability of bag A was 1. That is, it was chosen. It, as I mentioned earlier in the definition of probability, that the thing which we know is certain, which we know is going to occur, is indicated by 1. And here we have to choose bag A. We have given 2 bags, and we have to choose bag A, and then we have to choose red balls from that bag A. So we know now here what the joint probability is used, right? We have given two independent terms, that is bag A and the red balls. So we will use probability of bag A intersection with red balls is probability of bag A into probability of red balls up from bag A. See, we know the probability of bag A is 1 over 2, and the probability of red balls over bag A is 2 over 5, and then we'll solve the rest of the rest. Now, we are talking about another, another scenario, that if we are asked that what is the probability of red balls from both the bags, that is, we are kind of asking about what is the total probability of red balls. Then we know total probability of red balls is equal to probability of red balls from bag A, and plus the probability of blue balls, red balls from bag B. This is known as the total probability of red balls. Now there is a another scenario which is kind of different, and which is kind of the main thing which will help you more in understanding all those above terms and what actually its relationship with why am I giving these examples, and why am I explaining these examples, so you will know what is the connection between them. So now we are now there's a question that what is the probability that the red ball is drawn from bag A? Are you understanding that? Now we know that we have drawn the red balls, but we don't know from which bag. Okay, so in short, we have the destination. We have the destination, but we don't know. We need to find its source. We have the destination. Destination is the red ball. We have given. We have drawn it. Now, what we need to find the source. Okay, so this is called reverse probability. Now, as I told you before, that see probability of bag A, the probability of red ball drawn from bag A, that as I mentioned earlier, that the thing which we are given is placed in the denominator, and the thing which we are required is placed in numerator. Same here we have been given the red balls, that the red balls are already drawn, and we need to find the probability of bag A. So this is what it is placed in numerator. Its formula can be derived as the probability of red ball drawn from bag A is equals to probability of red ball drawn from bag A upon the total probability of red balls. So now when we are placing the values in the equation, so the total probability of red ball we already know is P probability of red balls drawn from bag A plus probability of red balls drawn from bag B. Now, of what bag we are talking about? We are talking about bag A. So we will place this value P A intersection R over numerator, because this is what we are required. This is what we have to find out. Now, as we know that we already have the value of PA intersection R, we have already find that it is probability of A into probability of red balls from bag A. So we will place this value here, and we know that what is the total probability of red balls, that is PR. This is what Bayes' theorem is. This is what the equation which was mentioned here is all about. The total probability of bag A from red balls is equals to the probability of red balls from bag A into probability of bag A upon probability of red balls, total probability of red balls. This is the Bayes' theorem. Now, the main thing is, now the question which arises is that why is Bayes' theorem used for artificial intelligence? We learned what is Bayes' theorem, we learned what is probability, we learned what is artificial intelligence. Now, what is its connection? So, you are going to understand from another example which I'm going to mention, that is, whenever we talk about weather forecasting, then we make predictions about what the weather would be tomorrow, or what the weather would be today at night, or what the weather would be day after tomorrow. So we predict these weather forecasting. We predict these weather forecasting on what basis? On the basis of the data which we already have. That is the prior knowledge of that data or of that event which we are talking about, that is weather forecasting. And we already have the given data, we just need to apply the algorithm and predict the future data. And this is what happened here in this examples of red ball, that we have the data of red balls and we need to predict its source. that from which source, either from bag A or either from bag B, it was drawn. So this is how we merge different concepts with Bayes' theorem, and then we predict with what is the relationship and which in turn is used in artificial intelligence. Thank you.